Hey guys, did you know that I have a Patreon where you can support me and plus get awesome rewards? Or if you're thinking to yourself, but Julian, I want even more bang for my buck while still supporting you, you can pop over to my Redbubble and check out my awesome store with new designs appearing regularly. But for now, enjoy the video you're about to watch. Hey guys, it's me, Julian Greystoke. Today I'm wearing my Scar shirt. There we go. And you all know what that means. I'm gonna lay down some unpopular thoughts here today. Now remember, before we even get started, that I am not the god of writing and everybody's process is different, but I would like you to hear me out and give some real thought to what I'm gonna talk about today. And that is the ever controversial, to prologue or not to prologue. That is the question. Don't just leave. Hang on. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of the prologue here today. Now, there are a lot of prologue fans out there. Writers who really strongly feel that their work needs a prologue to function. So let's just talk about it. You're writing a book and you have a prologue, or you plan to write a prologue, should you really include it or not? So the big key thing is, what is your prologue for? Because like everything in your book, your prologue needs to have a function. A lot of times a prologue will be there to tell something that has happened well before the story proper, or to flesh out the world more from the point of view of a character that we don't maybe get in the story. Or when you are doing a prologue of any kind, you need to stop and think to yourself, is this information crucial? Does the reader need to know this? And then there's a secondary question you need to ask yourself before you prologue. If you decide, yes, this information is crucial and the reader needs to know this, the second very important question is, can this information be woven into my story? I think that a lot of writers really shoot themselves in the foot with a prologue because oftentimes they will just use it as a place to dump exposition instead of weaving it into the story itself. It's going to show your skill as a writer a lot more if you are able to get all of that info into your story rather than plopping it all at the beginning and hope people read it. Another thing that people use prologues for a lot is to give some sort of action scene before the story starts out kind of slowly. Some stories do start out slowly, and in this day and age there's a lot more emphasis on really getting the action going right away, especially in YA. But I feel like, again, you can shoot yourself in the foot with an action-filled prologue, because then if your story's just going to be slow after that, your readers kind of gets whiplash, like, this is so intense, so much action, and then chapter 1, 2, 3 are meandering. So it doesn't ultimately help you in the end. Your book is gonna be what it's gonna be, and if it doesn't have an action-heavy beginning, then it doesn't fucking have an action-heavy beginning. If you don't want it to have an action-heavy beginning, then don't give it one. Don't force a prologue in there just to get that crazy action to hopefully draw the readers in. What's gonna draw your readers in is your world, your characters, and your story, so trust that. Here is my, number one huge gangbusters wow piece of advice for you if you absolutely must have a prologue. Wait until you've written the book, and then write the prologue. If you have written the entire book, and then you sit down and you think it still needs a prologue, then write it. But if you're writing your prologue first, to me that definitely means that you think your book is gonna need it, but ultimately it probably won't. Or you're going to use it as a crutch so you don't have to include things later in your story and you don't have to weave it in when you should. So if you are in camp, yes, prologue, I really recommend that you don't write your prologue until you have finished at least the first draft of your book. So those are my thoughts. I hope you all stuck around and found maybe some of this helpful. Please keep it civil in the comments. I know there are a lot of people who are super attached to their prologues, so I just ask that you consider what I have said here today. Just think about it, let it ruminate in your head before you just put your foot down and say, no, my book needs a prologue or it will fall apart. As you all know, I post videos here Mondays and Fridays. If you want to see those videos start looking higher quality, then go ahead and support me on Patreon. I am taking all of the money that comes in from my Patreon and putting it towards a new camera, so if you want that to happen faster, then hop on Patreon and give me some support. All the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking. looking, don't forget that I have a book which does not have a prologue that is on sale on Amazon right now. You can go check it out. And I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye! What's up, everybody? It is shout out time. Time to shout out to my very first patron, Kim. And if you want to be cool like Kim, become a patron over on Patreon.